What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ants in My Eyes Johnson. I'm here at the Shameless Nerd merch store, everyone. Oh my god, it's really happening. Oh, I mean, look at this. It's Ants in My Eyes Johnson here. I can't see anything. Come on down to the Shameless Nerd merch store and get yourself a shirt or a hat. I don't know. I can't see anything. There's ants in my eyes. But for a link in the description, if you're interested, there's a limited quantity, and if you order it quick, it could be just in time for Christmas, maybe. I don't know. Just a thought. AKA Reed from Famous Nerd. Today's video is about how to have fun on YouTube like we used to. If you end up liking this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. You can also join these beautiful people on the screen right here by clicking the join button to become a member of the channel, whereupon you will get exclusive access to some members only videos, as well as access to every video a few days early. You can also join the Shameless Nerd Discord at the link in the description, and you can email me with any questions, comments, concerns, or heartwarming coming out stories, or like stories about your firstborn child, or anything that might make me cry at readfromshamelessnerd@gmail.com. And also, like I mentioned, there is merch now, link in the description. All right, let's get into it. Those of you who have watched my channel for a while now probably have heard me mention before the fact that I have technically kind of made YouTube videos for over 16 years, even though the first video on this channel was posted less than 1 year ago. I was born in 1996. I was 9 years old when YouTube came out. I grew up here. And I have loved YouTube for, at this point, the majority of my life. YouTube means a lot to me, and it has for a really long time. There are inside jokes I have with my best friends due to videos I watched almost 20 years ago now that we still laugh at like daily. So much of my personality and taste is wrapped up in things that I saw on YouTube growing up, from stupid meme shit as a kid to like music videos that changed my taste and ultimately like the course of my life, to introductions to creators from whom I've learned a lot, like the philosophy side of YouTube, or YouTubers that I've loved forever whose content has evolved as I've grown up alongside these people, like Drew Gooden or College Humor, now Dropout, Rob Scallon, Joel Haver, Pokemon challenges. Like, this shit means a lot to me, and now I'm like kind of a YouTuber in a way. I still struggle to feel like a real YouTuber or whatever, but like I get a check from Google every month, a small one, but a check nonetheless. Like, I love this website. I love this place. But it kind of sucks ass right now in some ways. And I've made lots of videos about the evil and like curation algorithms, the problem with monetized social media on a platform like YouTube or TikTok, the endless curated timeline, etc. I made a video about how we can try to revert to like analog curation again, taking recommendations from friends or creators that we enjoy, looking for stuff we like again, instead of waiting for it to be fed to us, and why that's important, because I do think that that shit is really important, and I would love it if you watch those videos. But ultimately, the premise in this video is much simpler. YouTube can feed us a lot of bullshit right now, and there are a lot of stories of major channels being outed as like now they're AI-generated shadow factory bullshit content. A lot of creators have settled into like formulaic garbage, and frankly, there are a lot of issues with YouTube as a platform for a casual sort of homepage viewer type user, and you could scroll for a really long time without ever seeing anything really good or worth watching. But it's still there, guys. Like, the original mission of YouTube, which has since been largely co-opted by corporations posting clips of network television and big budget productions cannibalizing each other's already bankrupt ideas, sharing the same A and B list celebrities to drive clicks, or using every dopamine hijacking trick in the book to like Mr. Beastify their corporate content. The original mission of YouTube, a place for you to do weird shit, is still perfectly alive and well. And this video is basically just going to be me talking about what that means, what I think the importance and the value of that is, and then going through some shit that I want to share with you guys in pursuit of keeping that dream of YouTube being a place for like, look at this strange person being themselves doing weird shit on the internet alive. So first of all, that is what I look for on YouTube. If I want to watch big budget, celebrity-centric, high production value content, which there is certainly a place for and which I certainly consume on occasion, I can do that elsewhere. I don't need YouTube for that. I can watch Hulu or Netflix or Tubi or Juju or BB or Bing Bong or Quibi if I want that stuff. What I want on YouTube is stuff that I can't get from there. YouTube is the only place where humanity still exists on the internet, in my opinion. I think there are some corners of like TikTok maybe where that still exists, but there are so many cons about TikTok that outweigh the pros. Watch some of my other videos for more details on that. That I really believe YouTube is like the last real like big platform that at least can be a place for humanity to exist. I know there's like forums and small communities on the internet that definitely fit that criteria, but I just mean like the big platforms, the ones that everybody knows about. And on YouTube, there are creators who are making stuff themselves and posting it themselves, and it's just as plausible that it reaches as many people as the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon clips that the algorithm pushes so damn hard. And I think that's really beautiful. I still use the YouTube search bar sometimes. It's not as good as it used to be. It's actually kind of horrible now, which sucks, but it's still fun. Sometimes I'll search like acoustic cover in quotes, and I'll filter by recently uploaded, and then you're immediately given access to an infinite look into real people covering their favorite songs and sharing beautiful and sometimes horrible music, and I'll just go from like related video to related video, or I'll search "I just made a" in quotes or "my day" in quotes and filter by recently uploaded. And if you do this, you'll find all kinds of weird and fun shit to watch. And in doing so, you'll also train your curation algorithm to be a little more willing to recommend small-time creators content to you. And in doing so, over the last year or so, I have found some of the best and most entertaining smaller creators that exist on this website, and I am extremely confident in the following claim. I'm gonna go through a few of my favorite of these finds, and I will link to all of these creators in the description. And there is in this list at least one that will become your new favorite thing to watch on YouTube, besides me, of course. Don't ever stop watching my video. Don't forget about me, my numbers. Number 1, KVNAUST, Kevin Austin, or Kevin Aust, or whatever. Kevin Austin is the originator and de facto spokesperson for what he calls YouTube's recycling bin, which is the graveyard of videos uploaded to YouTube without deliberate titles or descriptions, named only by the default file name, which have low or oftentimes no views at all, and are never picked up by the algorithm and recommended to anyone. His videos are just him exploring this, going through different search queries he and his community discover to find these videos through the lens of different gimmicks. Some of his videos he tries to find the oldest video with 0 views that he can find. Sometimes he plays YouTube recycling bin bingo. These are my favorite ones. Sometimes he tries to define and find what he calls the rarest possible video on YouTube, a combination of views and age and content. I find his videos super endearing and life-affirming. It's that human side of YouTube that I am so into. These recycling bin videos themselves are fly-on-the-wall insight into lives of real humans all over the world doing all kinds of random goofy shit. And then the way that Kevin presents these videos is very fun and engaging. He has a really interesting editing style and sound effects, and he himself is hilarious. This is my absolute go-to number 1 recommendation right now. Number 2, MEpearl or MEpearl. This and the next entry in this list are in the same kind of universe, the same genre, and it's one of my favorite genres on YouTube, and that is low-budget videos of extremely interesting and weird people doing interesting and weird shit in an interesting and weird way. This lady, MEpearl or MEpearl, seems to be some kind of ancient soul witchy vaudeville performer existing outside of time, and she makes videos about things like talking about her pet opossums, feeding them while she delivers these insanely articulate off-the-cuff rants about self-actualization or humanity or literally anything. Things like animals in the afterlife or aging and aggression or loyalty to your soul. And I find her to often be genuinely inspiring and compelling, in addition to being very campy and hilarious and fun and offbeat and quirky. Her videos are just absolutely what YouTube is all about, and this lady deserves the world. Number 3, Parker Edmondson. Similar to MEpearl, Parker Edmondson is just a weird little dude doing his weird little thing, and it is so incredibly cool. Parker Edmondson again lives outside of time. He dresses like he lives in the roaring 20s, and he plays ragtime piano in a renovated 1920s hotel lobby in full regalia, or he makes pineapple upside down cake on a wood-burning stove, or he does electrical experiments, including claiming to make and kind of seeming to actually make wireless electricity. He's incredibly knowledgeable about the era and communicates kind of like a tour guide about this stuff, and he talks about the history of his player piano, or how to tune a baby grand, or how to ride a penny farthing bicycle. He's incredible, genuinely, on top of, again, being extremely quirky and human and strange, and I just love him. Number 4, Cornborn. Up next is someone that I've actually done a video with on this channel, and that is Cornborn. Connor is a gaming YouTuber. He makes video essays about older video games through the lens of this game is dope, and he does a really visually engaging and fun editing style video of explaining why games like Halo Combat Evolved or Pokemon Fire Red or Guitar Hero World Tour are dope. And he is extremely entertaining, he's well spoken, he's well researched, like you would expect a gaming video essayist like this to be, but he's a little more irreverent than most. There are also some social and class commentary undertones in his videos that I find really compelling and endearing, and similar to what I think best case scenario description of my videos would be. His videos are that perfect balance of low budget but well execution that I think YouTube is really all about again. If you like Scott the Woz or Video Game Donkey or creators like that, and you want a breath of fresh air sort of take on that kind of thing, I think Cornborn is one of the best out there. I watch every video of his without fail, and I have loved every single one of them. Number 5, Illinois Backyard Birds and Wildlife. This channel is exactly what it sounds like. It is videos of birds and wildlife in this person's backyard in Illinois, United States. Their videos often follow the building of a bird's nest over a few weeks, or of a squirrel moving into a nest box, or even things like a breakdown of a house wren protecting its nest from a house sparrow, or raccoons and opossums having a turkey feast at a farm. Their videos are well paced and well edited, filmed in high quality, but obviously done as like a labor of love and as a passion project. You can feel the appreciation for nature and seemingly common animals deserving to be treated as the like beautiful and intriguing things that they are. My favorite video on the channel by far is House Wren Empty Nest Box to Laying Eggs and Raising 6 Chicks. Obviously not algorithmically motivated with that title, which I also love. And I just think this channel is so affirming and sweet and peaceful. There's like a 2-hour compilation on there I'll throw on sometimes in the background. It's just awesome. Number 6, Tor's Cabinet of Curiosities. This is the biggest channel on the list at over 150K subscribers, considerably bigger than my channel, but still fits this exercise perfectly and is just like the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Tor Parsons is a YouTuber who makes extremely well-researched deep dive videos about absolutely random historical and sometimes contemporary shit. Stuff like the lives of magicians Siegfried and Roy, to the incredibly complicated political drama within Wikipedia editor wars, to authorial scams, to Tommy Wiseau, one of my favorite topics of all time, an endless well of entertaining oddity. Tor's Cabinet of Curiosities is that. It is a cabinet full of curiosities, and it is carried entirely by the autistic superpower that is Tor and Associates' scriptwriting and storytelling abilities. The videos are again endearingly, completely low budget, no flashy nonsense, but also toe that line perfectly and are extremely well executed and entertaining. There are some graphics and images that aid in the storytelling, but ultimately you are just captivated the whole time by Tor and Co.'s unparalleled ability to choose compelling and intriguing topics, to research them to fidelity, and to tell a compelling narrative. He's funny, he's charming, it's enlightening, it's the best channel in the world to me. I am a massive, massive fan. Tor Parsons, if you somehow see this, I love you. Number 7, Found Footage Fest. This is just a channel that uploads random old finds from thrifted VHS tapes, and it might be my favorite channel on YouTube, if I'm being honest. It is absolutely just a goldmine of random things, nostalgic and beautiful at times, or just completely off the rails at others. This is where diabetes came from, if that's any indication of how incredible and mythical some of the pulls from these VHS tapes are. And number 8, Code for Broke. The last one here before I do some quick hitters of some like bigger channels and then get to my closing statements is Code for Broke, which is a solo dev like devlog channel. This dude is making a video game and he's just like doing little updates as he adds shit to and like perfects the game. The game he's making is extremely interesting. His videos and storytelling within the overall arc of like seeing the game start to come together are super well done and interesting. And ultimately he just has like a really cool idea and a cool perspective about the stuff that he's doing and about video games as a whole. This one is definitely a more specific taste, and if you're not into this sort of thing, then you're not into it. But if you are, I think this is one of the best that there is, and I'm not sure why it's not much bigger a channel. It's just the perfect example of the passion project, the humanity side of YouTube that I've been spending this video rambling about so far. So before I conclude, I wanted to also just shout out some like bigger channels that I think also fit this bill, like human beings being truly creative and expressive and human, who I think adhere to the original mission of YouTube and are still a lot of fun to watch and are big enough to be like real YouTubers or whatever, but obscure enough to where you might not have heard of them, starting with by far the biggest and then getting into some more obscure ones. So, I Did a Thing makes wacky, like super dangerous inventions, is absolutely hysterical. Great, like classic Australian sense of humor. If you know, you know. Pat Finnerty does music commentary, deep dives about really bad famous songs, and is truly one of the most effortlessly funny personalities I've ever come across in my life. Simon the Magpie, a sort of left field wacky music guy who tinkers with weird electronic experimental instruments and makes songs out of like non-instruments and stuff. Adef, the greatest and maybe only half Pokemon, half mathematician YouTuber in history. Super funny, extremely knowledgeable. Marcin Plaza, a super DIY inventor, makes little inventions and is really like subdued, kind of understated, funny, and interesting. Joel Haver, a true like OG short film slash skit YouTuber, just born in the wrong or right era. He makes absolutely hilarious short films and then also full-length movies, one of which, Pretend That You Love Me, being literally a top 5 favorite movie of all time of mine. Sisyphus 55, the best philosophy and existential sort of big picture life question kind of inspirational but melancholy YouTuber that there is. Becorns, this is a guy that makes cute little characters out of acorns and twigs and stuff. One of the most impressive and coolest nature photography and creative endeavor things that I've ever found. Eliminate, really fun EDM producer who does challenges to produce like crazy EDM songs out of TikTok videos or random sound effects and is really funny. And Special Books by Special Kids, which is a massive channel who definitely doesn't need my promo, but is maybe the best example of empathy and humanity that exists on the internet and is worth checking out if you're not already one of their like over 3.5 million or whatever whatever subscribers. In conclusion, ultimately, I think that YouTube is still a really fun place. Despite the corporatification of much of YouTube, the late night show clips and big budget Veritasium-like channels and NBA and NFL highlights, Watch Mojo and Billboard uploads, YouTube is still a place where someone like me, who makes videos in a shed and edits them in iMovie, can build a real platform and like reach people. In my bio on YouTube, it says, there is still life to be had on the internet. We just have to look a little harder for it. And I think that YouTube is still a really good place to look. You just have to be trying to look for that, for creators that are obviously passionate about what they do, who are being creative and or genuine, who are being human. We are in such desperate need right now societally of some like humanity. And we can get the big budget production company stuff anywhere. To be honest, one of my complaints about the modern day is that we actually have way too much access to that stuff with like music and TV streaming and all on a phone that lives in our pockets and goes with us everywhere. We don't need to use YouTube for that also. I think it's a worthy cause, one that feels very life-affirming and encouraging in an internet that is largely so soulless and dead, to endeavor to make YouTube a place for real people again, for true creative endeavor. Put the like you back in YouTube, you feel me? Whatever. Thanks for watching. See you all next time. In today's post-video video, I would like to go through the 5th edition of my top 50 favorite songs of all time playlist, which I just finished today. I update this playlist once a year, but the idea is that these are truly, after much deliberation and scrutiny, my top 50 favorite songs of all time. Every time I update this playlist, it takes several hours. I try really hard to be like as long-sighted as possible when I'm doing this, like, and not be like caught up in the moment. This is like my favorite songs of all time, as accurately as I think that's possible. All right, it's weird. I've been sitting here like about to do this, and it is strangely like I have read like poetry about breakups and like mental illness. I have like shared my music like about like, you know, my life. I've talked about my anxiety. I've talked about, you know, like my mother's passing, all of these like these very vulnerable things. And somehow this is probably the most like I had to like work myself up to be able to do this. Anyway, this is my top 50 favorite songs of all time. I'm just gonna go through it pretty quickly, a little bit about these songs. So they're not in any order. Let's just sort them by artist. Okay, so not in any order. It'd be impossible to rank them, but anyway. So this is I Always Want to Die Sometimes by 1975, which is a song that is very dark to start us off, about suicidal ideation and life and death. This is similarly very sad song about his grandma's passing, which makes me cry because I think about my mom and I love it. Two of my most like sentimental 1975 songs, both of which I've talked about, I think, on this channel before. This is a very different vibe. This song, Whiplash by Two Hollis. This is a very sweet song, similarly kind of like electronic, like hyper poppy kind of stuff by 8485 or by Pin Code, I think she's also called Seer, which is just a very sweet song about love and somebody seeing you and you seeing them. This is off the latest Alex G record. Alex G, one of my favorite artists ever. I could have picked a lot of songs from this album. I could have picked Oranges or Beam Me Up or Headlights, or Afterlife, but I went with June Guitar just because that's the one that I find myself singing the most. If you haven't heard that album, Headlights by Alex G, it's one of the best albums I've ever heard, and you need to listen to it. This is the 5th edition of this playlist, right? This is, I've done, and I've updated. I updated it every time I go through the most recent iteration, and I pull some songs over from it, and then there are other songs I'm like, that one's not really resonating with me like it did, you know, a year ago. And there are a few songs that have made every version of this playlist, all 5, now 5 in a row. This is the first of those. This song by All-Star Weekend, which I want to do a video on All-Star Weekend, was a Disney Channel band. Like they're like kind of pop punk answer to like, I don't know, Big Time Rush, I guess, you know, it's kind of that era. But this song, I mean, it is one of my favorite songs of all time. I can't help it. These next 2 songs both are also ones that have made all 5 versions. Remembering Sunday by All Time Low, one of the great like sappy emo pop punk era love songs. Good Morning. I'm a big Jack Antonoff-er. I love Jack and Antoff. That Funny Feeling by Bo Burnham, one of my favorite songs to play on guitar, one of my favorite songs to sing, and a song that is really the only keepsake that I would like to take with me from 2020, from the COVID era. Buggin' by Breakance is a very well-produced, loud, kind of braggadocious, crazy, hyperpop, rappy kind of song. Only Want You is a song by Brett Dennen, one of the most underrated songwriters, I think, in the history of the world. One of the greatest songwriters of all time. Bluegrass kind of indie folk artist, Brett Dennen, if you haven't heard of him. Bright Eyes, I did that cover of this song. This is one of the most meaningful songs ever to me. I love it, and it makes me very sad. Lots of these songs make me very sad. One of the newest songs added to this list, Love Takes Miles from last year's Cameron Winter solo album. This is, I think, one of the most well-written songs of the last like 5 years at least. I mean, I'm pretty quick to say like, oh, this is one of the best songs ever, and I'm okay with that. We Found Each Other in the Dark, a song that is now very sad to me. Used to be a song that made me very happy about love, and now makes me very sad. Dan Mengen, Canadian singer-songwriter. Road Regrets is a song that I, as a good luck charm, play every time that I go on a road trip of over an hour and a half. This is the first song that I play. Vindicated, one of the greatest, most like euphoric, like just giant feeling songs of the emo era. I'll Follow You Into the Dark. Goes without saying, one of the greatest songs ever written. 16 by Diet Sig. This is a cute little clunky, pop punk song about young love and stuff, about dating somebody with the same name and them breaking up with you and how weird that is. American Teenager by Ethel Cain. I could have put like anything from Perverts and Ethel Cain by Ethel Cain also, but for like re-listenability, I put American Teenager on here because that's the one that I'm kind of, if you know what I'm talking about, if you don't go into Perverts in the right like headspace and listen to that album, then it might kill you. So this is an acoustic version of one of my favorite Fall Out Boy songs. I could have put any of 150 Fall Out Boy songs on here. That's my favorite band ever. That's my favorite from my favorite album, so that's why that's on here. I did a whole video about this album, Midnight Organ Fight by Frightened Rabbit. This song, one of those songs that just like tears me apart. Similarly, this is another one of the newer songs that I put on here. I don't even know, it's French, Apaise. I don't know if it's Apaise or Alpay de Cocaine, whatever, by Geese. This is a song that I can't really listen to right now because I just like kind of went through the story in the song, and I can't handle this song right now. It's too sad, but that's a testament to how beautiful and kind of haunting it is. One of the greatest songs that I've ever heard, to be honest. Posthumous is a song about life and death by Gus Dapperton that I really like. Maine by Hey Nothing, it's some of my favorite harmonies in the world, little two-part harmony that they do that I love singing both parts to in the car, about like, song about exploring, seeing other places and feeling like kinship to a place that you've never been. I think this is the newest song on this playlist, Heaven by Butterflies. Heaven, Butterflies by Jacob Collier. This is just a song that struck me from the first time I heard it. That is just like the most lush and beautiful composition. I really love the new Jacob Collier album, and I think that song is awesome. This is a trans anthem by Jane Remover that makes me feel sick to my stomach in a good way and makes me cry. This is a song about feeling really dumb and low about yourself called Idiot. Dogfish, love song, Matt Champion, solo project, Mika's Laundry from Brockhampton, Matt Champion. Kiss Quick, I'm a big Matt Nathanson fan. Congratulations by MGMT. This is MGMT's one of their two good albums, the Oracular Spectacular and Congratulations. I think this is one of the greatest like title tracks of all time. Cancer, horribly tragic, sad song about cancer by My Chemical Romance. Newer song here, dancey song, very different vibe from Cancer, called Take It Slow by Nate Sibb, which is I don't even know how to describe this genre, but like hyperpop kind of adjacent stuff. This is one of the songs that's made all 5 versions of this list. Here Goes Nothing by Never Shout Never. I did a whole post-video video about Never Shout Never. I'm a big Never Shout Never defender. Blade Bird by OK Lou, which if you haven't heard this record, you just have to go listen to it. I'm not going to say anything about it. You just have to listen to it. There's some Owl City. I could have picked 1,000 Owl City songs. Umbrella Beach is just one that I kind of chose. It could be any of them. They all mean a lot to me. There's a Good Reason These Tables Are Numbered, Honey, You Just Haven't Thought of It Yet by Panic at the Disco off A Fever. This was my mom's favorite song, Last Request. It is also like a very heavy, sad breakup song, so this song is doubly hard for me to listen to right now, but I've been listening to a lot of music and crying lately, which has definitely, now that I'm looking at it in its totality, kind of informed this list a little bit. Similarly, Garden Song, my favorite Phoebe Bridgers song. Russian Roulette, this is my favorite song of all time. This is number 1. This song saved my life. This song kind of walked me down from a depressive episode and means the world to me. Guide Dog is a song about loving your partner that I love, about like, you know, if they could see themselves through your eyes. A la carte, fun song from Scrapyard, and Monday off the new album, which I guess came out this year also, Vanisher. It feels like it's been out forever because I've listened to it so many times, but Monday, my favorite song, or second favorite song, probably Foregone, if you're a fellow Quadiki fan. Samson by Regina Spektor. Very beautiful song about love and death. There's a lot of love and death on this list, isn't there? Fear of Flying, emo, Rocket to the Moon. Brielle is off of Sky Sailing's. This is maybe my favorite album of all time. This is Owl City's side project that they only did one album of. I wish that he'd done more. Dreamy, floaty, spacey, just wonderful album, and I love it so much. Golden Green by Slaughter Beach Dog. This is my son's favorite song. I don't know how. I don't know like what about it stuck with him, but because of that connection, and I love the song also, but that one kind of why that means so much to me. Good Luck Final Girl off Wall Socket. I had to put an underscore song on here. One of my favorite artists of the last like 5 to 10 years. 10 Dead Dogs. On a happier note, 10 Dead Dogs by Wild Sweet Orange. This is a song you probably never heard. This is a very tiny band. I don't know where I heard this song, but I've known it for like 15 years now, and it haunts me in a very good way. And The Fort by Zach Valier, which is just, I love songs that are vignettes. I love little moments, and this is a song about inside our fort, like just us, the two of us in our little like fort that we've built. And I just think it's very beautiful and wonderful, and I love it. So those are my top 50 favorite songs. My profile on Spotify is public, Read from Shameless Nerd. If you ever want to like look through my playlists or whatever, I have a bunch of different playlists. I also have the Shameless Nerd playlist, SN Top Albums. These are the you guys submitted best like top albums or whatever. Read from Shameless Nerd. You can follow me on Spotify if you're interested. I really only use Spotify for this reason now. For like playlisting and stuff, and for really this playlist in particular. But so yeah, there you go. All right, love you guys. Bye.